All
because
right.
y'all's wall looks the same.
I know. We have the same room.
So cool. I love that you just say I love you so much.
It's been such a
Listen,
long time. It's so great to see you.
it's so great to see you living life in
Living
the
life.
zone and doing what you and this is such a perfect project for you. And I'm so happy for you. This is my friend Desha, first of all. Corday here, and we are super excited to be interviewing the Divas of Rock. We have with us Desha Dunnahoe,
Yes.
who is a bassist extraordinaire, guitarist extraordinaire, vocalist. Actually, she plays everything. Piano. She's a multi-instrumentalist.
I just have a little fun with everything. Not a master of anything by any means, but I do have fun with a lot of different stuff.
She's a pretty amazing musician. So, I think this is just a perfect project because Deshay played bass with me. Not we were co-bandmates and had such a wonderful time. But I think that this is such a great project for you because you get to do everything and you get to be a star and front woman, but also do you love it or
I
what?
love it. Yes. I mean, I met Lizann however many years ago now when I joined Dog and Butterfly, the Heart tribute, which was perfect for me. And as I love the music of Heart, I love the 70s rock and roll, the 80s rock and roll, the singer-songwriter, guitar stuff. It's a little bit of everything. And as a musician, my favorite thing is just to play with quality people, quality singers. That's why I loved playing with you. Your voice is amazing. You're a great performer. And so it was always a blast playing our favorite rock and roll tunes and just having a blast. So with this project, with the Dog and Butterfly Heart project is where we met and where we um, got to perform together a lot, doing the Heart music. And then Lizann is a great vocal impressionist and got the idea of like, you know, I could also do this one. I could also do this one. Why don't we just, wanted to just put it all in one show and kind of showcase that talent. I mean, I wouldn't say showcase her talent. It's showcasing her this amazing music, Women of Rock, and being able to see it all in one show and by one person who does it all it's a pretty fun show.
Yeah. I mean that's hard to do to pull off all these artists. She's something else. What do you think differentiates like a cover band? Because people don't understand. They're like,
They don't,
we're going
yeah.
out tonight. We're going to see a cover band, and because I think we should help people understand because a lot of people don't know the lingo, but we as musicians know. As a cover band just means you're going out. You're going to play covers, in your own way. I mean, you're going to cover the songs of other artists
Well, right,
versus
the difference
a
between
tribute.
right, a cover band and a tribute. Because a cover band, you go to see a cover band and it's that band's own personality that's on stage, right? When I was playing with you and we were doing covers, it's Corday out front doing Corday's things, putting Corday's spin on all of the rock and roll we love so much. And it's me as the bass player. I'm just being me, being the bass player, and we play all your favorite hits. But if it's a tribute band, they are really paying homage to one artist or um, trying to look like them, sound like them. The original tribute artist would probably be an Elvis impersonator because you can go see an Elvis impersonator. You can go see somebody who's going to sing some Elvis songs on a stage in a nightclub or something, but that's just hearing someone sing Elvis. It's not an impersonation with the costumes and the attitude and all of that. And that's the same thing with the tribute bands. The tribute bands, they are trying to make you feel like you are experiencing that artist's music as that artist would do it. You know,
Yeah.
costume staging, trying to be faithful to the spirit of that band.
Why do you think there's been such a resurgence of tribute bands?
Well, I think, well,
Like they seem to be dominating the. Right? Dominating.
absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
in my opinion, if you're going out to see any bands tonight at the Gas Lamp or down the street or wherever you live,
Mhm.
it's usually yeah, tributes.
I think part of it is that there are some really, really good musicians that are out there doing it now. And the concept has been around for a long time. And there are a lot of artists that you either can't see anymore and that have left
You
us
mean
over
because
time.
they're dead?
Absolutely. If you want to go see, a David Bowie, so now you go to see a David Bowie tribute, and it's getting to experience that music live like that artist would do it in a way that you can't anywhere else. And concerts are so expensive these days. So
Mm.
it's like if your favorite band comes through as a tribute, it's like, oh, I can go down to the Gas Lamp tonight and have a good time with my friends, and I get to hear all of this music that I never get when I go to the cover bands that are playing all night long. They don't play this music. This is an hour and a half, 2 hours of, journey of, whatever the artist is. And as you know, because you've done the um, Melissa
Melissa,
Etheridge.
Melissa
Yes.
Etheridge. Right,
Yes. So it's a
right.
Melissa Etheridge fan who she's not playing right now. You're doing the tribute out there, and it's going to be like, a night of Melissa Etheridge music that I, wouldn't be able to hear if I didn't go see this show. So,
Right. I love it. I don't want to jump. Valerie, do you want to jump in here?
What do you think, makes rock music, especially female-driven rock, so timeless and powerful?
Oh.
timeless and powerful. Well, it was a long road getting there, you know. Um,
Mm.
Part of what we show in the Divas of Rock show is um, with Stevie Nicks is how we open up the show. Okay. So Stevie Nicks and the music of Stevie Nicks. And then we go to Linda Ronstadt. And you might think Divas of Rock, Linda Ronstadt, but she was actually one of the first female fronted acts touring in arenas and opened all of those doors. And so her music was really important to start the whole thing, to start that kind of a notoriety for women. And it's just something you don't see of course, now you do see a lot more than you used to, but um,
So, who are your musical influences?
that's a hard question. That's one of those questions I hate because there are so many artists that uh,
Inspire you.
exactly. And I do have to say about Heart, you know, nobody rocks as hard as Ann Wilson. And when you see her in the 70s come out and just kill it, it's like, wow, you don't see the contrast that with a Linda Ronstadt who came out and killed it, but in a completely different way. Completely different way.
Hmm.
This was like seeing Ann Wilson is like seeing a female Led Zeppelin. They Hart covered Led Zeppelin tunes when they were starting out, and you can hear and see her influence in that kind of style of rock and roll. And
Yeah, she
seeing
always does
Nancy
like
play
some
guitar.
Zeppelin tunes. Don't they always do Zeppelin in
They
their
always do. They
set?
always do. Yes. And if you saw the Kennedy Center honors, oh my gosh, there's no, better Stairway to Heaven. If anybody was going to do it besides Zeppelin, it needed to be
It,
Hart. Yeah.
it needed to be. Have you seen her
Yeah.
live? Have you seen him live?
Yes, yes, and I've seen them both with their separate bands and together. And Nancy playing guitar. When did you ever see a female guitar player up there at that time? Now it's commonplace, but when they were starting out,
Right.
being able to see someone like yourself up on the stage was you know so I
So
was
she did.
always a rock and roller, and I would listen to my brother's uh Beatles albums and Creedence and all of that kind of thing, and um Queen, just the vocals, theatrics, the musicality, anything with a good solid rock beat with that great creative melodies. Any of those kinds of artists were really um what inspired me to want to play those songs.
So we know that Desert Legends is going to be in Palm Springs and a beautiful time of year, the 1st of April. Have you ever played in Palm Springs before? And do you have a connection to the city and its music scene?
I haven't played there much, but Lizann has played there a ton. So when she comes in, you'll have to get her input on that because she plays in there frequently. We have played down there several times as in the Dog and Butterfly, and we have a blast while we're down there. Um, And
Have you played it? Where did you do the Rock Yard or
yes, we've done the Rock Yard. We've done
in Fantasy Springs? You
lots of
guys,
casinos.
for those
We
of you in Indio, Fantasy Springs, and so
right, right.
Dog and Butterfly is the tribute to Heart. Just
Yes.
to back up a little bit,
Hmm.
you're going to get to see Divas of Rock, which presents a little bit of everything. So you're gonna, you guys, Desha is my favorite rock star member. So we might as well talk about this. I mean, because it'll be interesting for some people that I was I did have an all girl band,
That's
and
right.
we were called the Classic Rock Cougars.
Yes.
We did the classic rock, and we had Rosie, who was amazing, and Krista Carson and Paloma, um, and Desha on bass, and we just had great times, and I love that we have that history. We had some good times, Val. So this is my old bandmate. I don't know if you knew this.
Right. And we actually did kind of a similar thing to the Divas of Rock when you did the classic rock revolution, because you would come out in the different even though it was male artists
Outfit.
you were
Yeah,
singing, right? You'd come out as Slash, or would come out, or whoever it was that we were singing, a little costume change to give it a little bit of that flair.
exactly.
And
And I think, let's talk about costumes because I feel like that a lot of musicians are like, hey, I just play my music,
mm,
la, la, la. I don't want to have to wear a costume. But I love it, like you said, the theatrics background. I was a
mhm.
theater major. I feel like, if you're going to listen to in today's world, you can listen to Spotify, you can put on YouTube, and you can listen to Alexa, you can do all this. So the only difference when you go out to a live show is please give me a show, give me some
Right, right,
visuals, give me something besides the audio, which are some stage moves, some costuming,
right, right.
some banter in between the songs, some
Entertainment.
multimedia
Yeah,
show, which your
yeah.
show brings,
Right.
which with the TV screens and the video, which has always um, been a dream of mine, and which you guys have actually inspired me to do this weekend.
Awesome.
I hope to do some videos too. But I think you're right. It's so important to bring if you're singing the songs of the era. Let's see what you're wearing. So how do you guys come up with your costumes?
Lizann is an amazing seamstress. She can take for all of the costumes, for all of her own costumes and for what she has us wear, she will uh, find the basics of the material and beat it all herself, or style it, cut it, paste it together, however she does it. I
Is
don't know
she
how she does
like
it.
in the back room with a sewing machine?
Yes,
Like
yes,
like really?
yes. And she does it for her own solo shows, for the Heart tribute, for the all of this. She puts all that together. She's really creative in that way, and always really strives to um, make the look be something that's really really
Attention to detail.
yes, yes. So it's not just something slopped together, or this is good enough for me. She really wants it to be as top notch as everything else.
So you have a cleaning bill.
Yes.
We are stoked to have Lizann Warner with us.
Hey.
And we're talking about the Divas of Rock show. That's right, you guys. It's the main event happening at Desert Legends on Saturday. That's April 5th. Hotel Zoso in the Fillmore Room, and you must get your ticket. This is the main event, like I said. We choose our talent very carefully, and there's a lot of people that wanted to perform, but I knew this was the way to go because this band is going to bring it, and they're going to bring a lot of things in one night.
Yeah.
So, you could have just one band, or you could have like 7 bands in one. And
Or you
we
could
just
have our
wanted,
band, which is like 6 bands in one.
that, that's,
Close to
that's,
that.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
hi, Lizann. Tell us
Hi, Courtney.
more. First of all, let's introduce. This is Lizann Warner, lead vocalist, Divas of Rock.
Yeah.
Desha Dunnahoe also with us. Valerie Milano from the Hollywood Times.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi, nice to meet you virtually.
Nice to meet you as well.
Great. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're just so glad to have you out here soon.
We're looking forward to it.
Hey, it's Corday from Desert Legends, and we are excited today to talk to Lizann Warner from the Divas of Rock. You are in for a treat. This is a great band. With us today is Lizann Warner and Desha Dunnahoe, members of Divas of Rock, and of course, my good friend and our media relations, Valerie Milano from the Hollywood Times. Valerie, what's up?
You. Well, I'm excited because we're just almost a month away and here in Palm Springs getting ready for a great show on Saturday. And how you gals doing?
Doing good. Doing
Looking
good.
forward to this. It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Right. Have you ever played Palm Springs before?
I have solo stuff. I don't know. Dee, have we played? I think we played there once. There was a rock venue there that Dog and Butterfly, our Heart tribute, has played out there, but Divas of Rock has not. This is a new show. Same, a lot of the same players, but it's a new show that we started last year. And no, it has not. This will be our premiere performance there.
Yeah, so you're going to be at a Hotel Zoso.
So
And
yeah.
yay. And so I hear that you're going to do a lot of tributes. So what
Yeah,
do we look forward
Yeah,
to?
we do a tribute to 6 different artists in this show. I impersonate Linda Ronstadt, Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, Stevie Nicks, Chrissy Hind from Pretenders, and Ann Wilson of Heart, all in one show.
Wow, how do you keep the energy alive in each performance, especially with such high energy rock songs?
Well, we have a great band, which Desha, who's there somewhere in our conversation. There she is. She's kind of our musical director of sorts. She plays guitar and does a absolutely fabulous job of holding down a lot of that, and tutoring me on guitar, by the way. So, because I've never played guitar before, but I do now in this group, in this particular show. So
she's a force of nature as a performer. There's just there's no off switch. Once she hits the stage, it's just you're in for a good time.
I think the band keeps me going, that and a click track. I don't have time for that. Once I hit the button, the show just goes. It just runs like all by itself, like clockwork. And there's no time for me to be thinking or worrying about that. I just have to keep going.
And your set celebrates iconic female rock artists. It sounds like. How do you choose the songs, and how did you choose these artists to include?
Well, we discussed it for a while about what artists to try to do in this show. We tried to pick the most influential female singers, performers in rock, and of course, we tried to pick ones that had the biggest hits. So that kind of was a big factor in determining which artist to do. Linda Ronstadt, one of the largest concert acts for a female rock singer in the 70s. And of course, Heart, probably the first time you'd see 2 female performers fronting a hard rock band. Pat Benatar, I mean, need I say more? Stevie Nicks, again, a huge selling artist and so many hits. So yeah, it was pretty easy to kind of select who we wanted to use in the show. And of course, Joan Jett and Chrissy Hind as well. I mean, kind of rounded out. There's 6 of the most influential female performers in rock music.
Well, we got the main lesbian here, Jennifer Corday. How did you guys meet?
I met Corday through Desha. Desha, if you want to chime in here, she played in bands with Corday before I'd met her.
Yeah, we played together for a number of years, and I played bass for Corday in a couple of different bands. She did the classic rock Cougars. That was an all-girl, all-female
Mhm.
rock band, and then we also did the
Rock.
classic rock revolution, which was an interesting concept because it was classic rock, everything from what all did we do? We did Aerosmith to Guns N'
Yeah.
Roses to whatever rock it was, but underneath that was a dance beats were underneath that, and it was similar to this show in that Corday would come out with some kind of costuming that represented the artists that we were doing, and it's interesting because in this show with Divas of Rock, what is amazing is that Lizann has 2 minutes to change completely from one artist to the other. We're playing at the end of the song, she says goodbye, takes off, and in 2 minutes she's back as someone else. And
Yeah. I have 2 minutes and I can't mess up because
and
the band
I don't
keeps
know how.
playing. The
Yeah.
band, yeah, the band keeps it going. They have a certain amount of time of music that they're performing during my costume change, and there's a narrator that's speaking during that time. And gosh darn, I thought I silenced my ring and it's still coming on. Anyway, yeah, I got 2 minutes to do this mad dash, and I mean, I think backstage during the costume change is a whole other show going on back there.
Oh, I like it. We should have another camera back there.
I know.
So
I
have
think
you
it's
ever
really
not have you
hilarious. It would
have
be
you ever
hilarious if we had one.
I like it. Have you ever not made it in time?
There's been a couple of times where it's really
Close
close.
calls, really close. There's been a couple of close calls. All it
Yeah.
takes is like one piece of clothing to not fit exactly right and have to adjust. And it's like, oh, now the timing is all off and you got to hurry to get back
Yeah.
out there. But we're
I
playing,
think
we're playing, waiting for that downbeat, and there she is.
I think the audience waits with bated breath to see like who I'm coming out as next and whether or not I'm going to come out on time. I think the hardest part are the Joan Jett segment and the Chrissy Hines segment, because I also have to grab a guitar and plug in, and that takes a little extra time on top of the costume change. And I do a full costume change. I mean, we're talking wig all the way down to the boots. So the whole thing changes.
So you look pretty hot and rock and roll right now. Is
Oh,
this
thank you.
tell me about this look you have now. Is that your real hair right now?
Yeah, this is my
Okay.
real hair. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hot.
Thank you. It used
And
to
then
be
you
longer, but I decided to chop it off, and it just got shorter and shorter. I went to the hairdresser and thought I would try maybe about to here, and I was like, nah. And we tried it to here. I was like, nah. We tried it to here. I was like, keep going. So finally, we ended up with this. So.
it's freeing, isn't it? It's freeing.
Yeah.
And then as a performer, when you do the wigs anyway, it makes it probably
Oh
easier.
yeah, it's a lot easier now with throwing wigs on and off. I don't have to mess with I don't even have to wear a wig cap or anything to hold my hair back anymore. I just throw it on and throw it off, and it works a lot easier actually. So
all those performances that you do, all those artists, who's your favorite?
well, I guess I would be, I would have to say Heart, of course, because we also have a Heart tribute band that we've been doing for quite some time now. And so I would say, I don't know if I would say it was most favorite, but probably my most comfortable. But I really like doing Stevie a heck of a lot. I like Stevie Nicks a lot. That's kind of a fun character to portray. And Joan Jett is really fun because I get to like kind of shred. I mean, I'm not anywhere as good as the guitar players in my band, but
she also, aside from the impersonations that she does in this act, she does all kinds of others. There might be others that are even that she might pick for a favorite to do, because she's done everything from Cher with the full headdress and the whole, I mean, everything. Cher, Barbara Streisand,
Dunnahoe.
Exactly. So,
Done like an 80s version of our show where we have done Blondie and Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper as well.
We
Yeah, that's right.
we trade out Linda Ronstadt and the what's the other one, and the Stevie Nicks, and we just do 80s artists' material.
Okay, so tell me more about this. Okay, this vocal impersonation because people don't really understand. Okay, you can just sing the song, but you can really make your voice sound just like them.
I actually, I guess I'm what they call a sound-alike artist. That's kind of how I got started. Was doing some commercials and video games. I recorded some tracks for Guitar Hero 3 and a couple other games, and impersonating voices. But I mean, I kind of cut, and you probably can relate to this, Corday. I cut my teeth back way back when. I won't say how long ago, but back in the day when you did cover band stuff, it was actually a thing to try to sound like the artist. Now people don't. I don't think they try so hard. They try to embellish, but back when I was first playing in cover bands, it was all about sounding as close to the artist as possible. So that was something I always aimed to do. And I guess I've always been pretty good at mimicking, even when I was young. And that kind of branched out. And once I don't know, I started doing this professionally about 20 years ago, just impersonating voices of people. And I didn't really dress up, actually. I just mostly did recordings. And then I started doing some of those voices live in my live solo performances. And then only just a few years ago, I got invited to do a performance dressed as Cher. And I had always done a lot of Cher vocal impressions, but I had never actually impersonated her. But I went online, found a very good makeup video done by a Cher drag impersonator. He did a great job on his makeup, and he had a tutorial. So I followed that, and the show went really well. They said I looked and sounded, and it was a lot easier to perform her dressed up like her than I thought it would be. And ends up, I've done several shows now since then. And I've done a few shows dressed as Marilyn Monroe, and a few as Barbra Streisand. But most of the time, I just perform singing like them. I don't necessarily dress up. But in this show, Divas of Rock, I definitely dress up.
Well, I have a quick question on that. Do you think the drag queens kind of, are someone to look up to that kind of started, they're good.
Yeah, they're good. They are. And what was so funny, at one of the last shows I did, which actually was out in the Palm Desert area, I did another tribute show, just performing a few songs as Cher, and I dressed up, impersonating as her. And after the show, we did a meet and greet, and one of the ladies came up and she said, "You are one of the best Cher impersonators I've ever seen that wasn't a man." And I had to say thank you, I think. But so I guess there aren't very many females that impersonate a Cher, but yeah, no, I think that male impersonators, they're great, and they're probably far better at their makeup than I am. So,
Right, that's what I'm saying. The costume and the makeup,
yeah.
and Palm Springs is really known.
Yeah, they put a lot into it. I mean, they put a lot of money and time and effort into that, that whole thing. And I don't do it very often, so it's not a full-time career for me. I just every once in a while will dress up like Cher and perform as her, but it's not something I do as often or full-time like a lot of those artists do. So.
Can you just give us one line? Like, can you say "I got you, babe"? Like, as her?
That's one song I don't do.
Or no,
duet.
I just wondering.
I have to do it by myself. Let me see. Oh gosh. Try to think of a line that you guys would recognize from a song.
Right, from Cher. No,
I was born away on a traveling show. I had to dance for the money they throw. Papa would do whatever he could.
Oh my God, that's awesome! That's amazing.
Thanks.
And true story, I was in here doing some work in here in my office, and I had pulled up a video of Lizann singing, and Gail's in the other room and says, "Why are you listening to Barbra Streisand?" It's like, "I'm not listening to Barbra Streisand, I'm listening to Lizann." She had no idea. She was in the other room, and all she could do was hear it, and it was, she had no idea.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
So,
Thank you. I've
so
not
she
heard
works
her.
really hard to get the nuances of everything, and that's why it's such a special. All of those shows, the Diva show is so special because that's a lot of different artists and a lot of different personalities, a lot of different singing, and
Yeah.
not only is it great music, I mean, you're going to know every song and you're going to love every song. You're going to be able, it's like getting to see all of those artists, um, as we said, that aren't
Yeah.
performing anymore. If you want to uh, hear this music performed like it was intended to be performed by those artists, this is the way to see it. And
Yeah.
Lizann just does um, she takes everything very seriously about how we look, how we sound, how entertaining is the show, you
Yeah.
know, and
We also, just to throw in, to add to that, we have a professional radio personality, which you might know, Corday, Brad Mercer, who's performed out there in the desert, and he's been on, I guess, a Palm Springs radio station many times. He actually recorded our narration for our show, so he narrates the whole show and
Oh,
talks about each artist before I come out. So you get a little bit of a history about each artist. And there's a visual element that goes to our show. I don't know if we're going to be having that included in this particular performance or not, but if hopefully we will. So it's kind of like, it's almost like watching a little bit of a documentary and then a bit of a show too. It's really cool the way I put it together. So.
Aside from that, a little birdie told me before the recording that we have a special person that does your costumes.
Well, yeah, I do my costumes. I design them,
oh.
and I make them. But
Yeah.
I kind of spilled the beans on that already.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I like to sew. So yeah, I came up. I did create all of my costumes, and then I have a wonderful friend of our band. Actually, two lovely ladies that work with our show that assist with the changing, because that's something I could not do on my own. So we have Robin Rawls, who is costume assistant extraordinaire. And believe me, she works hard back there trying to whip that wig off and get a wig on and grab the jacket and get the boots on my feet while I put my belts on and all these things. And also,
Well, Valerie loves to hear about wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, and then
That
I also wanted to do a shout out to Katina Kerr, who is a whole, like, she's like a cousin to me. We actually grew up together. Our parents were very good friends. I've known her since I was like 4 years old. And Katina does professional costuming for television and movies. She's done costumings for CSI and other television shows, and she's a real pro too when it comes to the costume changes. So yeah, both of those ladies work really hard backstage, let me tell you. But you wanted to say about the costume malfunctions. Just sometimes it's hard when you're trying to get, like, the boots. I think the boots are the hardest. I think I've almost kicked Robin in the face more than once trying to get my boot off while I get the other boot on for, a different costume. I might change everything, the shoes, the jackets, the wigs and everything. So sometimes if we can't get a belt to fasten on correctly, that will hold me up. I've luckily not had any like Janet Jackson style malfunctions, nothing like that. Luckily, everything, I mean, I wear a big, like a long black, not to say big, but a long black onesie that covers pretty much everything from, head to toe. And then everything kind of goes on and off over it. It's just like a spandex dance onesie unitard thing that I wear. And then everything goes on or off over that. So that kind of makes it easy. So, and of course, if there's anybody backstage or whatever, if I'm having to change backstage, because sometimes I do have to change in areas where there's foot traffic and it's not a lot of privacy. So I sometimes have to be able to make sure that I'm, covered, not giving a whole nother type of show backstage. So anyway.
Amazing. So now, real quick, you were just, Heart tribute. what gave you the idea to like, I need to now expand to do this show that covers everyone? I mean, you could have done a tribute to Hart, tribute to Fleetwood Mac, a tribute to Linda Ronstadt. You probably
Yeah.
thought, there's so many artists now are doing tributes to different artists. Why not put them all in one package? And is it going well? Are you selling the show?
Yeah, well, I think that was one of the selling features because there are a lot of bands that do a tribute to Fleetwood Mac, or not so many bands that do tributes to Heart. We are the only Heart tribute band that's actually endorsed by Ann and Nancy Wilson for authenticity, and we were featured on Access TV. And there are a few Heart tributes around the U.S., but I think ours has been probably consistently the longest running Heart tribute. I hate to say it, but we're approaching 20 years now that we've been doing it. And I think, sometimes it's not as easy to book it, though, because there are so many guy bands out there with the Led Zeppelins and the AC/DCs and the Elvises and all of that. So sometimes, sometimes Heart can be considered a bit of a niche. I don't think it is, because I think there's a lot of material and a lot of great hits, and I think people don't really realize that until they come to one of our shows, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't real. Oh yeah, there's that one. Oh yeah, there's that song. Oh my God, there's another." They end up knowing more material than they realize. But sometimes, as a selling feature, Heart isn't so easy. And we had toyed with the idea of maybe doing, another act, just like another band, and just doing all of that band. But I had always thought, since I do different voices, it would be kind of fun to do a show like that. And I have seen other friends of mine do multiple tributes within one show. But I've never seen anybody do a show production quite like the one that I created, because I wanted one that was kind of like bringing a Vegas show to you rather than you going to Vegas. We wanted a show that had all of the costume changes, the narration, the big introductions, all of these different artists coming out all in one show, not just a band playing covers. So that's kind of where I came from when I came up with the idea. I wanted to do something that nobody else was doing, and I don't think anyone else is doing quite what we're doing. So,
I agree, and that's why I was
and
drawn
it
to you
feels
guys.
okay. Yeah, we're booking well. Yeah, in regards to that last part of your question.
Absolutely, I'm sure you are.
Well, for those of you who've not seen our show, Divas of Rock features Linda Ronstadt, Stevie Nicks, Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders, and Heart, all in one show. 6 acts, 6 singers, and 6 fabulous individual shows, all put together in one big tribute extravaganza.
Yay.
Exactly what I wanted. Ladies, get your tickets Saturday night. That's right. Desertlegends.net. Click.
And I want to mention our band too. I do want to mention our band. Again, you introduced Desha, Dunnahoe, who is fabulous on guitar. I have to throw in also that in Dog and Butterfly, our Heart tribute, she also plays mandolin. She plays electric guitar. She plays acoustic guitar. She sings backups and is absolutely amazing in Divas of Rock. But we also have a great lead guitarist that's going to be performing for this particular show. We have 2 guitar players that play with us. Steve Zukowski, who plays in some amazing tribute bands. We call him the tribute band legend because he's played guitar with just about everybody. And but we also have Jake Fawn, who's going to be our lead guitar player on that particular evening, who's played with national acts. He's an amazing guitar player. We have Steven Zipper, who we call Zip for short, who's our bassist, and also sings backup, and so does Jake on backing vocals. And then, of course, my wonderful husband on drums, who also plays in Dog and Butterfly, our Heart tribute. But he also is triggering everything from that drum set. He triggers the narration, he triggers the visual effects, he does everything from his laptop while he's playing drums back there without hopefully dropping a stick. And he's amazing. So yeah, we have probably the best band of musicians that have all played in outstanding tribute acts all over the nation. And I'm lucky to have them all in this band behind me. And so when you asked earlier, how do I have energy? It's impossible not to have energy with a band of players like I have behind me. They're just amazing people and amazing musicians.
That's great. I love it. Thank you. Can't wait to see you at Hotel Zoso.
We can't
Very
wait
soon.
either. I think Desha also is excited, right, Dee?
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be fun.
Okay,
What's
yes.
your husband's name?
Oh, did I forget to say David Pimentel? He would definitely correct me if I had forgotten to say that. Yeah. Most people know that I'm married to the drummer, but yeah, it's David Pimentel on drums. Again, Steven Zipper on bass. It's going to be Jake Fawn on guitar for this show. And of course, our lovely Desha Dunnahoe also on guitar. And again, she's the one that's been kind of tutoring me on guitar. So it's a really fun and energetic show.
She's a quick study.
Yeah.
So when you guys see it, so we got Lizann as Ann Wilson, Desha as Nancy Wilson, right?
Yeah, at the end, yeah, we always save Heart for last because it's near and dear to our hearts. And so we always wrap up with Heart, and then Desha comes out and does her Nancy Wilson thing. But this show is so different than the Dog and Butterfly tribute. So, and I always tell Desha, get out there. You're supposed to be Nancy Wilson. And she's always like, but this show's Divas of Rock. And I'm like, she's like, you're the diva. I'm like, no, I want you to be the diva too. So we fight over who gets to be the diva.
Oh, no, I understand. No, you're the true diva, Lizann. We get it. And Desha is supporting you, but she is a rock star in her own right.
She really
Absolutely.
is, yeah.
And Ann and Nancy are really kind of a duo, so you're right.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. So that's why we
yeah.
feature at the end, because that's like the seventh diva in the show, Nancy Wilson. You can't have Heart without giving a nod to Nancy for sure.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
So,
well, Desha, you have been a lesbian for many years. Well, probably since you were born.
Pretty much.
Is your wife coming to the show?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
That'd
Okay,
be fun.
so, and have you ever played for 300 lesbians, Lizann?
no, I haven't, but I'm looking forward to it. Actually, we have a pretty large lesbian and bisexual following in our Heart tribute. We do have like a lot. Heart evidently has a lot of lesbian followers, which I didn't even know that until we started doing the Heart tribute.
Yeah, I think we were all coming out in the 80s, and there was like, there were those songs that were like, oh my God, when can I be alone? What's that song? When will I be alone? When will I have you alone?
And these dreams, and we have
These dreams.
a very diverse following actually of people that follow the band, but I don't think we've played for a primarily lesbian event, but hey, I'm totally down. So,
You're going to have a bunch of new fans. Well, these are women we all know and love, and absolutely, it transcends sexuality or sexual orientation or gender. These are all just epic.
and I myself, I have to say, I've always had a girl crush on Joan Jett. For as long as I can remember, I've always had a crush on Joan Jett. So.
See?
So,
Right.
yeah.
Our event, we know we're open to everyone, lesbians and friends. I mean, this is just, we're keeping the dream alive for this Palm Springs weekend where the women have always flocked to the desert to enjoy their time together. But this is a demographic that's a 40, 50 plus.
But that's
age
open to the public, right?
demographic.
I mean, if you're not a lesbian,
Absolutely.
you're still welcome to come to the show.
Absolutely.
We'd love to.
Absolutely.
I want to know what's with your background.
Oh, and then my kids.
You're in the same house right now?
No,
And
no.
Corday?
No,
What's your background?
I'm in
Cards on your wall. What's that?
I'm in North Fontana, and Desha's in it's not Long Beach. I always forget the name of her city.
Yeah, so I live in Southgate, right near Downey.
Southgate. That's
Yeah.
it, Southgate.
Look at
Okay.
your
Look,
background.
Valerie thinks that my guitars and Desha's guitars are going.
Oh. No, you guys have the cool studio and everything. Our studio is more like an office, and it's mostly just books and things. And I'm actually in my kitchen. I know it's not very rocking, but I don't
You're
play
all the
guitar
rock they
per
need.
se. I only have one little guitar I could hang up and it'd be so.
Oh my God, Desha, is that a Corday sticker on that vase back there?
Right there on my bass.
Oh my God, it is.
Gosh,
Look at it.
oh my God.
This is the white base right here. Oh my God, you guys are seeing this in
Great.
real time. This is like, look at
Oh, that's
Corday.
That's
Look at that.
amazing.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that. This is so awesome.
Yay. That reminds me of how I met my husband, Dave.
That's great. I love it.
I met him years before we got married. I gave him a bumper sticker. He was at one of my concerts, but I didn't know who he was. And then years later, when we met again, I saw the bumper sticker I had evidently given him years before on one of his drums or his drum cases. So
See, ladies, always take the sticker.
take the bumper sticker. Yeah, you
Right.
never
You
know
never
where
know.
it ends up. Yeah,
You never know.
up.
I got stickers. I got business cards. Listen, it's going to be a great event, you guys. Ladies, make sure you have your tickets for, this is called the main event. So it's really the main
Saturday,
event.
April
Desert,
5th.
Desert,
So.
thank you. Desert Legends, Saturday, April 5th, Hotel Zoso. We will send you the link right here. Get your tickets. You can get VIP seats right up front, preferred seating, general seating, or standing room. But you're going to want to be there. You're going to see all these acts in one night. So
Gonna be great.
Let's
Thank
do it.
y'all. Thank you for joining us today and tonight. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Awesome. Thank you. We look forward to it. We look forward to it.
Yay.
Lizann Warner, Desha Dunnahoe, Valerie Milano, I'm Corday. Thank you so much. We'll see you Desert Legends 2025. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. See you soon.